Hey everyone, this is Rob from ProWresBlog, www.ProWresBlog.blogspot.com. Alright, here's my WWE NXT August 28th, 2013 review. To open the show, Corey Graves was giving weird eyes to Renee Young when Rick Victor came in. Victor said that they were tired of waiting for Graves, whatever that meant, and Graves told him he was right here, so no need to wait. And then Connor O'Brien just absolutely nailed him. He hit him with a piece of the stage that they had hanging up, and then he laughed to end the segment. Alright. The first match of the night was CJ Parker versus Tyler Breeze. The gist of this one was both guys fighting to grab Tyler Breeze's phone. CJ wanted to destroy it, Breeze wanted to make sure it didn't get destroyed, and the crowd was chanting for it to get destroyed the whole time. The phone ended up playing a part in the finish as both guys went for it, and Breeze ended up getting it first, and he nailed CJ Parker in the head with it. And then he pinned him. The problem I have with this is that as an iPhone especially does not hurt. It's different like in 1991 when Paul Heyman had the iPhone and, he was decking people with it because it was probably quite heavy then. But nowadays it's not, it doesn't weigh anything. So I can't really buy that, getting hit in the head with a phone would really take someone down. I honestly think it would do more damage to the phone than it actually would the person, but whatever. It was a clever finish at least, and they got creative and tried. Just kind of needed more work with it, but hey, we'll see what happens. There was one cool spot in here where CJ Parker hit an airplane spin, and Tony Dawson called it the psychedelic spin, so I guess that's one of his new moves. The match wasn't much of a match. I mean, it didn't have that much going on. It was all about grabbing the phone and all storyline, but sometimes that's okay, because I was still entertained by it, and I still enjoyed the match. So it was a pretty much character and storyline match. Emma then got interviewed by Renee Young. She said she was going to go play Dance Dance Evolution, and she was going to beat Summer Rae in only 5 minutes. It was a fun promo, and Renee actually asked if she could play Dance Dance Evolution with Emma after, and Emma said yeah, and so she said we'll see you in 5. They announced that Tyler Breeze left the building as we got ready for Emma versus Summer Rae. This match was pretty good, actually. They were pretty much catfighting the whole time. They pulled hair, they screamed and yelled, and I liked it, They clearly showed some hate, and the crowd was into it, and it was a good match. I rated it 3 stars, and basically it was mostly Summer Rae controlling things until Emma started hitting her submissions with her spider in the corner, and she then hit what she called the Emma lock, and it was the Indian Death Lock, and Summer Rae tapped immediately. After the match is when the fun started, though. First of all, Summer Rae got up and pushed Emma right out of the ring, and then she grabbed Emma's bubbles at ringside. She grabbed the bottle, bubbles, and she poured it right into her eyes. The crowd got into it, and Emma sold it pretty good, and basically Summer Rae mocked her and pretended to cry the whole time, and she got some good heat for it. We then went to backstage where Scott Dawson, LaForte, Colin Cassidy, and Enzo Amore met up. Sylvester was trying to recruit Colin and Enzo into his new group, which he called the Legionnaires, and they weren't really buying it. Enzo here had just this insane haircut that you'll have to take a look at on my blog, and only at my blog. Basically, it's one strip of hair, it's like a mohawk, and then he lets it grow long in the back, and on the sides he has all these cheetah imprints, and it's just the craziest looking thing, but it totally fits his character. There was a funny line where Sylvester was bragging about how good he did with Scott, and then Colin brought up, he said, "Look what I've done with Scott, all he does is lose." And then Scott asked, Sylvester when he's going to get paid, because he hasn't been seeing his money, supposedly, and Sylvester told him straight up, when you win a match, you'll get paid. Scott then had this line where he said, "Well, you two nerds are committed to a 5 to 10, boys. I'm going to beat your brains in for 5 to 10 minutes, you Jersey Shore wannabes," and then Colin sent him off. We next had an angle with Summer Rae. Sasha Banks confronted her in the back, and she didn't like what Summer Rae did to Emma, with pouring the stuff in her eyes. And Summer Rae was really good right here. She just told her, hey, I'm in WWE, I'm on the main stage, I do whatever I gotta do to make it, and, She told Sasha that she basically needs to do the same because in 2 weeks she has a match with Emma coming up, and Summer said she'd pretty much beat that witch and do whatever she had to make sure she'd win the title. And then she told Sasha to get it together near the end, and they kind of teased that Sasha could be going heel here. Next up, we had Enzo Amore versus Scott Dawson. Sylvester came out before the match, and he had one of the coolest jackets I've ever seen. It's just this gold and shiny thing that you really got to see because it's beautiful. I'm telling you, I would wear that thing everywhere if it were me, and he should definitely wear it more. They changed Scott Dawson's Tron, and he used to have pictures of him and his partner in the back, but his partner got fired, so now it's just Sylvester LaForte on dollar bill signs, which I think is pretty cool myself. Regal told us not to trust a man that wears glasses inside, which LaForte was doing. Enzo and Colin came down, and they kind of talked with him, and Tony Dawson said that Enzo said his haircut is a party on my head, and you're not invited. Enzo got some Enzo chants, and he did a cool flip out of an arm toss. I don't know how to describe it. I'm sorry. And the match wasn't really much. It was a little bit awkward at times, but near the end, Alexander Rusev came down and he nailed Colin Cassidy. And during that's when Scott Dawson picked up the win with this backdrop that I haven't seen done before. That Regal called a Greco-Roman suplex. It was pretty high, and it was a good-looking suplex. And after that, Rusev, Dawson, and LaForte posed, and I guess this is a hint of the new Legionnaires. We then had a segment where Sami Zayn was interviewed by Renee Young. The fans were chanting match of the year and all kinds of stuff at him, and they said they wanted another match with him and Cesaro. Zayn said he was going to focus on the NXT title, though. Bo Dallas then came out. Bo said that he wasn't championship material, and, Sami Zayn just lost last week to Cesaro, so he really shouldn't be getting a shot. Zayn, in return, tried to point out that everybody hates Bo Dallas, and Bo just wouldn't buy it. He smiled the whole time, no matter how loud they got, and he was really good here. And Bo said, "They're not booing me, it's Bo." Bo had a good laugh here, and Sami Zayn was just frustrated trying to do what he could do. Zeb Coulter then came down, I think making his first NXT appearance, and basically he told Bo that he was a hardworking American and didn't listen to Zayn, who he called a border jumper and legal and blah blah blah. And then Jack Swagger ended up coming down, and he nailed Sami Zayn, laying him out, and they put the flag over him and posed, so got a match going on. A segment was cool was they got two things over. They got the Zayn versus Cesaro feud going, and now they got Zayn versus Swagger going on too. They showed some clips from NXT at SummerSlam Access. Renee Young was wearing a Tupac shirt for some reason, and they showed Cena pretty much shilling Adrian Neville and talking about how good he's going to be. We then went to the main event, which was Conor O'Brien versus Adrian Neville. It was a total disaster. The ref screwed up or something on a count, and even the announcers acknowledged it. The fans looked really confused, and I don't know what happened. They cut away, and it was just weird. And right after that, they went right to the finish, and Neville won with the 450. Really awkward match, and I don't know what happened at all. But it wasn't good, like most of Conor O'Brien's matches. After that, the Ascension beat down Neville, and Corey Graves made the save, and he had his ribs all taped up. They beat him down too, and then posed to end the show. Overall thoughts, I thought it was a really good show. They had a lot of really good characters here, and all the angles and all the promos and stuff were good. The Divas match was the best thing on the show, because otherwise this wasn't real great wrestling-wise. But, I had fun, and that says a lot. I had a good time watching the show. There were a lot of really good characters, and this show is just great. I mean, it's the best WWE show, and it's the best wrestling show on TV right now. And I really urge everyone to check it out. You can watch it for free on Hulu, so if you get a chance, definitely do that. Stay tuned for a TNA Impact Report live at 9 p.m. with Picks and GIFs live at www.ProWresBlog.blogspot.com. Thank you.